Thank you very much. We have much learned from each other. The problem was that we want to answer the question how you come from this, the Lancet report, to leading change, that one. So that requires transformational leadership. First question we were addressing is this focusing on all the students or on a selected group? And the mainstream opinion was that's for all students. But of course, there will be different levels and different contexts that will define what will be the kind of leadership. Some people also suggested to change the word leadership into change agents, so that leadership would not be something that people maybe say that's nothing for me, and I don't want to be a leader and to have other people's under me. So that was the difficulty of the word. Of course, context is important, and also the level. Leadership is different at the nano level with our individual patient commitment, at the micro level where we work in interprofessional teams, at the meso level, think about community advocacy, and at the macro level, policy. And at all these levels, we can train students. Essential is the social mission and the community orientation. Leadership is not only about inward looking, it's about outward looking towards the needs of society. Then we came to the definition, and transformational leaders have to connect one's identity to the group identity. They have to be a role model. They have to challenge group members to take greater ownership in change processes. They have to create trust. They have to empower group members and to create safe environments so that they can articulate purpose and mission interactively with a group by intellectually stimulating the group, championing innovation, and inspiring group members to become change agents. And it sounds like this should be translated into behavior so that we can better assess that. And of course, the assessment will not only be on the process, but also at the outcome level. You can look at what kind of change in outcomes did you realize. But anyway, we all agreed that peer assessment is an essential feature in the assessment of this, because you become a leader thanks to the others. And that's also an important issue. Finally, there is something that is still there. If you have two people, the same behavior, why is the one inspiring you and the other not? So maybe that brought us to the nature and nurture discussion. And the percentages were very different, from 90% 10%, over 50% 50%, and 10% over 90%. So there's a lot of debate on that issue. And of course, we have responsibility as an institution. Entry selection is essential. More varied recruitment, and it was already mentioned, is an essential element. And then secondly, we have to have a culture in our institution that is open to the creation of transformational leadership. So look at the hidden curriculum, because many times we destroy leadership capacity by the way we are behaving with our students. But there are lots of opportunities in the curriculum, and it's not only through simulated exercises, but for instance, why not to share your power, to share your governance with your students, and to let them participate in the processes of your institution, in the change of your institution. That could be an excellent way of preparing for transformational leadership. Another example was student-led primary healthcare services, where really students learned to take responsibility to be transformational leaders. Let's also learn from other environments. The coaching model can help us at the nano and micro level how we should foster leadership. In a conclusion, we think that this is a doable project, but that it will be mainly something based on experiential learning. So that means that assessment will not always be explicit, but can be implicit as well in the framework of action research. And it will not be only quantitative, but also qualitative, looking at narratives, looking at reflective practice. Of course, important is that we have role models. And the question is, are our faculty role models? Do we select our faculty because they know almost everything about almost nothing? And mainly we do that, and not because of their transformational leadership capacity. So that's a challenge. Another criteria. Faculty that are transformational leaders have to be engaged. They have to be open to risk-taking. They have to be visionary. They have to be giving voice to what's happening. And they have to be strategic thinkers. I think if we would assess our faculty at all those characteristics, that would be a problem. At the end, of course, we have to be careful. The risk is always there that we have wrong leaders. So that's a risk. History learned us a lot about this. And ending on a historical note, when you look at strong leaders, there is a variety of people, but they all have some common features. They all are committed to a social mission. They all act on social accountability, are orientated towards the needs of the communities they serve. At the end of the day, transformation leadership is about making a difference where it really matters. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. And that actually sounded like a treatise into itself. So I would like to see that written up. And in conclusion, I would like to thank our facilitators and our scribes. We've asked our scribes, I'm actually asking them now as I think on my feet, to type up their notes and to email them to Patricia, Megan, and Rachel. And then we will send them to the facilitators for their input to ensure that we've captured the conversation, and then that will become part of the proceedings of the workshop. I really would like to thank all of you. I'm going to actually do what a good lawyer does, which is claim that we're probably on time, because I can argue the opposite based on that clock, which at the beginning of this session I said I would not follow, but now I'm following it. So we're kind of on time. Eric Combo, over to you.
So you get a 5-minute iPhone break to check your email. So we're going to go ahead and set up the next session. So we're not going to take a formal break. So please stay at your tables, or if you have to run out and use the facilities, we're going to set up the next session. I'm going to ask Jack to come on up with our 3 panelists to join us up front.